Hi, this is Steve Nunley at Smarter Advertising. If you're reading this, it's either you own a website and are suggesting that you take a little time to make changes, and we felt an overview would be helpful, or perhaps you work for somebody who has a website. We are going to give you a complete breakdown and list, but this is the general information. In any case, my contact information is right here on the screen. We don't want anybody out there that works on websites to feel that we step on your toes. There's just some items out there. None of the books, none of the classes teach. And part of it is buyer psychology. We did something a little different. We actually watch what we do on the websites through videos. For example, this is junk removal by veterans. This is my software, clickfrauddefender.com. And it's going through and it watches everybody's user action and blocks click fraud, all kinds of analysis tools, but that's really not important right here. What is we can go down and watch the visitors just like you're going to watch this one. This person is using Comcast or an Aurora, they're used on Linux, Android 10, this is their monitor and everything. But we can actually watch the person going through to figure out what they like and what they don't. And that's what we're trying to express here in making some of these changes for your websites. So let me speed this up. That you can watch, imagine you're watching a couple thousand of these and see right there, they went to the phone number. The idea here is that we know what sells and what doesn't. This little hamburger menu here, most people don't notice it. We're going to go through and give you suggestions and steps, and it's all working basically off the same premise. Google likes certain things and hates other ones. We'll send you an exact list. This video is just to help you understand why and a little bit how. I'm using junk removal companies in this example because we do so many of them. This is something that is very common on junk removal websites, before and after pictures. Now, if you're doing home remodeling, people want to see a before and after. This is trash. Just people really want to see there was a pile of trash and now there's not. Do you think one extra person is going to buy from that? No. We watch the videos. We see people skip right by this. But what it does do is it slows the websites down. We're suggesting that people don't take up a lot of load time on their pages with before and after pictures of junk removal. We're going to go out and suggest to people that, one, you should offer text. Even if you don't like to receive text, the reason you want to do it is 30% of sales these days start with somebody reaching out to the business by text. If you don't have it, they're not calling you. We've tested call and text on a website. We took the text off. Didn't cause an increase in calls. It caused a decrease in sales. Google reviews are nice, but they can greatly slow down a website, so you have to be careful with them. Here's another type of website. You go in here, now see this has the hours. Before, this didn't have the hours. Well, think about it. It's a Saturday or Sunday or late at night, and it's a little old lady. Is she going to call a company for junk removal if she doesn't know they're open? Absolutely not. On websites, the phone number should never be black. People subconsciously relate black as text and blue as a link. You can use other colors, but just never use black. And there's nothing here to tell people that this phone number is clickable. So it should say click to call. It should have the hours. By the way, 90% of people do not scroll down on desktops. Now, they do scroll down more on cell phones, but 50% of people don't go to other things. So people are making their buying decision primarily in this area here, not on what's on these buttons, not what's down there, right here. When you look at this, you ask yourself, well, do they do piano removal? Do they go 50 miles outside the Hudson Valley or not? You want to show your whole area here or a list, which I'll get into in a minute. Here's one of those maps I was telling you about. Why would people do this? It looks great to the business owner until they realize that they don't want the people to bring the trash to them. Let's talk about going to mobile for a second. This website, we're going to change it over to something else. We come in here, you look at this. First of all, the phone number is black. You don't know if you can text or call. You want to see a contact form at the bottom of each area. Here's an email, but it's not really contact, and the numbers aren't lined up with it. Think about this. This hamburger menu here, A lot of people don't click on these. I highly recommend not using hamburger menus. Instead, this is that same company with a new website. And when you come in here, look, the phone number's in color. When you highlight it, it changes color so they know it's clickable. You have call or text 7 days a week, the hours, no hamburger menu. I mean, well, this just goes in, and this button shows their services. We come in here, we narrow it down, and you say click to call, click to text. The phone number is clickable also. Instead of a hamburger menu, just 3 bars on a page, it lists their services. And most of them don't usually have this many words on there, so it can lay out nicer. Now, here's another thing. People before had to scroll down to see what their services were or do another page. When you look on this, it lists all the services. So like before, they didn't know if they did piano removal because the word wasn't on the website anymore. So what you want to do is change the website to put their services on here. When you're looking at SEO and Google Ads, Google reads the words on the page. If you want to rank for apartment cleanouts, are you getting a click for, let's say this is apartment cleanouts followed by a city name? If you don't have the word apartment cleanouts on here, it has 0 chance of ranking for it. But in Google Ads, charges you more for the click. It's called a quality score, but you get a low quality score for apartment cleanouts because those words weren't on the page you sent the people to. You also get a higher quality score from Google if these words are linked. So even if they all go to the same page, they help lower the cost. These words here, you never want a button up here that services. Nobody is using services as a keyword or service area or blah, blah, blah. You want to use your keywords here that you're going for in Google Ads or SEO so that the website looks. And when we go into here, you see how the words are still there? Well, on a hamburger menu, they disappeared. So literally as a hamburger menu can actually cause your cost for mobile clicks to be a little bit higher simply because it was there. You put all your services, and I'm not laying this out in a way that looks pretty or anything, but you get the idea. Another thing we're suggesting to people is that they list all their cities instead of the main one where they're located. People should be able to go in here and see this. Also, Google SEO and Google AdWords read these words. And so apartment cleanouts Arlington, because the word Arlington on there, and it lowers the cost of that click. At the bottom of every page of the website, but especially the homepage, you should have a contact form. People scrolling down on a cell phone and scroll down a long way. They don't really want to scroll all the way top and then hit a contact thing and go to another page. They want you to make their life easy. And depending on your business, you may or may not want to put an attachment there. We also recommend getting rid of CAPTCHA. CAPTCHA is outdated. It doesn't work and it slows websites down. Instead, we're recommending to go get cleantalk.org. It will block 99% of the click fraud, and it does it without CAPTCHA. It's absolutely amazing. Again, down here, you want the hours, the click to call, click to text. GTmetrix, when you have the professional version, you're looking at 3G, really makes it easy for you to go through and identify why your website is loading too slow. For example, do you have too many images on the homepage? Are the file sizes too big? When I look at just the images on here, I'm going to put the file sizes right here. The largest one is here, 67K. This website has big images on it, but, and you're going to love this program, we use a plugin called WP Optimize. This is, it goes in and compresses images, and it actually sets it up where when you're on a large device, it displays a large image. When you're on a smaller device, like a cell phone, your website will send a smaller image with a much smaller file size. When you're using WP Optimize, the biggest file size you should ever use is 300K. And that program will then reduce it down to where on a cell phone, it's maybe only 40K. But you want to go through here. I see all the times with people, images in here that are 1 meg. That's 10 times too big, and they just really slow it down. Let's talk a minute about JavaScript. JavaScript does a lot of nice things, makes things move around, images flip, rotate, and all these wonderful things. But a website can have too much JavaScript. When you go out things like Wix and GoDaddy Builder, you can't even fix it because some of that is pre-programmed in. It covers every option, whether you're using the option or not. It's common to come in here and find 50, 60, 80 lines of JavaScript. Well, the first suggestion is go out and remove unused JavaScript. By the way, I remove things like if you're not actually using Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, take them off. They tend to lower the website. If you are using them, move them down to be one of the last items to load. Let the images and the text load before Google Analytics. I know there's some people who are going to disagree with me, but this is the need for speed. This is about sales. It's not about statistics. The next thing is this website loads just fine, does all the magic in the world, and it's only got 5 JavaScripts. One of them is our Click Fraud Defender software. 118K. It stops click fraud and it gives you a lot of insights into your visitors, helps you figure out ways to do it. There's just no getting around it. It's something that you need. Other than this, there isn't much JavaScript. So let's say you have a lot, you've deleted what you can. The next step, and there's a lot of articles you can go out and read on the internet. I'm not going to try to explain it all here. It's called combining JavaScript. Basically, what you're doing is you're making one JavaScript document on your website, and then you go to all the other JavaScripts and you click on them and you copy and paste all of these. Like I could go in here and copy and paste this, and you're putting them on one document. Then there is a link on the page from the website to that file on the website that has all the JavaScripts. What that does is it not only combines them all onto one, also reduces the number of servers. I look at it, the more servers you have, the more chance that one of them's running slow and it's going to kill things. So combining JavaScript, it's awesome. The same thing applies to CSS. This is a cascading style sheet. A lot of websites, you can look at the file size and it's huge. If you look here, there's 20K cascading style sheets. Anything above that, it's just a waste of load time. Another item is some websites use a lot of different fonts, but they're not using the standard fonts. They go out and they use all these fancy fonts. Well, then it has to be downloaded and can become a huge file. I recommend using standard internet fonts, and that way they can just be downloaded instantly. You can go out and read articles, search for that standard internet fonts, and look again at the amount of file size and the number of files here, and you can compare what you've got to that. One of your goals should be look at the summary, the total page size down to 1 meg or less. I see some of them come in at half of that, still look gorgeous. Another one is to bring these requests down as close to 30 as you can get. Every additional quest slows this down. One final thing in here is going out and just looking at this waterfall. You can go through here. Look for anything that doesn't load, anything that comes up with an error message. Those are basically broken links. And when you have those kill the load time. So chances are it's not functioning, remove it. Finally, we want to go in and try to reduce the numbers of servers involved in this. So I just hit domain. This is one server at Trust Index. This is now one at Click Fraud Defender. This is the website. Try to bring this down to 5 or less servers. The fewer servers, the less chance that one of them is going to do something wrong.